Today we traveled outside of Florence into the rolling hills of Tuscany to visit a hidden gem called Pontassieve, where we're going to go visit a castle that was built in 1000. Not just to explore the history, but to also taste some wine. Let's get tipsy, y'all. Nestled in the Chianti Rufina region, Castello Nipozzano was established by the Frescobaldi family in 1855, and the historic estate is surrounded by rolling vineyards and olive trees, creating the perfect Tuscan backdrop. The tour kicked off inside the estate's villa cellar, where we got a behind-the-scenes look at their winemaking process. They aged their wines in 300-liter Austrian oak barrels and smaller barrels made of French oak, carefully balancing tradition and innovation. Next, we made our way up to the crush pad and fermentation tanks, soaking in what might just be one of the most picture-perfect spots for winemaking. But what were we most excited about? The castle. Perched on the hillside, Castello Nipozzano dates back over 1,000 years. Originally a Florentine defensive stronghold, it's now one of 9 Frescobaldi's family estates, carrying on winemaking legacy that spans centuries. Inside, we explored historic farming and winemaking equipment, as well as, unsurprisingly, more barrels of aging wine. Then we went underground to the castle's private cellar, home to the Frescobaldi's personal wine collection. When a new family member is born, a selection of wines from that very year is set aside from them, and they don't get access until they turn 18, which is hands down one of the best birthday gifts we've ever heard of. For special occasions, unlabeled bottles are chosen from this collection and hand-labeled for the event. With over 30 generations of winemakers, this tradition runs deep. Some bottles in the collection dating back to 1864. At this point, we were feeling serious FOMO for not being born into a Tuscan winemaking dynasty. But alas, we left the castle behind and made our way back to the villa because it was finally time for wine tasting. The villa, originally a summer retreat for this distinguished Florentine family, is as grand as you'd expect, complete with a small chapel, lavish living rooms, dining spaces, and kitchens. Fun fact, the Frescobaldi family is still a big deal in Italy, so much so that they were invited to William and Kate's royal wedding. At this point, we were thirsty, and thankfully it was wine tasting time. Alongside an incredible lineup of wines, we were served a local spread of meats and cheeses, the perfect way to wrap up a day of history, tradition, and seriously good winemaking. Now we're doing our tasting. We have 3 wines, 1 white, 2 reds. The white is one of my favorite Italian varietals. It's called Vermentino. It is light and crisp. We would call it a porch pounder in the States, and it is absolutely phenomenal. We then move on to their Chianti Reserve, and this is one of the ones that comes from this estate in the region, and it is absolutely delicious. It's light, also a porch pounder. And the last one, this one comes from one of the other vineyards. It's over 450 meters above sea level, and this is a bit more punch to it, more full-bodied. It's absolutely delicious, and it is pairing beautifully with this absolute gourmet snack of a charcuterie board. All of it was included in the price. It was 55 euros per person to do the tour and the tasting, and I personally think it's worth every penny.
Vermentino is very good, but not a white wine person. The Reserva is also very good, but I actually like the 100% Sangiovese, which is typical to the area. It is much more bold and complex than all the others, and that's typically what I go for in my red wine, so this is what I'm sticking with. We've got these little crostinis over here with truffles, lard, chicken liver, pate, and escarole. We've got their homemade olive oil. Tuscan bread, don't eat it. If you ever get served it, take one little nibble. If it tastes like nothing, put it down as Tuscan bread. I think it's missing all the good stuff like salt. I don't know the exact specifics, but you will know when you taste it that it is Tuscan bread. This, however, is not. You can see it's a little bit darker than normal. In that olive oil, it's perfection.
We're playing a game.
We're both gonna guess what the other one thinks
we're gonna
the
buy.
Other one wants.
And my parents are being very patient while we do this. What wine do you want to take home?
I think Mother would like to take the white.
Okay.
I would like to take the Chianti.
Which Chianti?
The first one?
No,
The middle one.
The middle one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay.
I like that one too. All right, on the count of 3, the bottle the other
Say
person.
what the other one
What the other
wants.
one wants. The bottle the other person wants.
Wait, why don't we just say 1, 2, or 3?
Well, why don't we say A, B, or C? Because I'm going to count us up to 1, 2, or 3.
Fair.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1, C. Really? You think I went B? Yeah. I was gonna do the Vermentino, but I really did like B, so you weren't wrong. I liked B, I think, better today than C. Was I right? You want C?
Yeah, but you cheated because I said that on camera audibly earlier, so. I said this was my favorite.
Okay, so does that make me the winner?
Cheater, cheater, pumpkin eater.
So if I won, then the wine that I want is the one that we get to buy, right?
I thought you already said we're gonna buy what you wanted anyway.
Oh, that's right, that's right.
This was a stupid game.
Pro tip, visit a winery with your parents and they will buy the half case. We got 3 whites and 3 reds and we're gonna go home and drink it. And actually the prices were not nearly as bad as we thought. I honestly was expecting like 30 euros a bottle. The Vermentino was 10 and the middle red that we really liked was only 14.50.
Wow, this place was absolutely phenomenal. Highly recommend coming here for a winery tour and a tasting.
It's well worth it, the 55 euros per person for everything you get. Tour, the cellars, the castle, the massive amounts of food, the wine, very well worth it. The history at this place is unbelievable. It goes back to like 1,000. There's 31 generations in this family, unbelievable.
So getting here from Florence can be a little tricky. It's why we're gonna call it a hidden gem. The city itself is Pontassieve, and it is located only a 20-minute train ride outside of Florence. We chose to rent a car because my parents were here and we didn't want the hassle of trying to figure out how to get from the train station up to this castle. However, you can take the train from Florence and then potentially get a taxi to come up here. Getting a taxi back out, you're gonna have to work with the winery, see if they'll call one for you, because we're definitely off the beaten path. As you can see, there's really nothing around us.
But I will say, renting a car from Florence was pretty easy. I mean, the pickup place was basically right in town. I walked to it this morning, and I think the total price was like 30 euros for just the day, so super cheap as well. So weigh your options and figure out what's best for you, but I think either one's gonna work.
This is definitely a hidden gem. You're not gonna find a tour that comes out here from Florence. It was what drew us out here, is that we wanted to do something off the beaten path with my parents. And we've done several different Chianti winery tours that leave from Florence. This was definitely more self-guided. So if you guys are looking for a really off the beaten path adventure in Florence, this is definitely it for you guys. If you're looking for more Florence information, we have a couple different videos and we'll link them down below. If you're looking for more wine videos, we have a few and you should start with this one here. Thanks for watching. Cheers, y'all.